What's up, guys? So guess what? It's that time of the month again. I got my Video Games Monthly for the month of November. For the uninitiated, what Video Games Monthly is you can give them an amount of money, and every month they will send you either 3, 4, 5, or 10 different random video games. You tell them which systems you own, you tell them which games you already own for that system, and they'll send you a random assortment of games that you don't already own for the systems that you have. So long as you tell them which games you already have. We'll get into that in a minute. Now, full disclosure, as you can tell, it is out of the priority mail envelope. I get this on days where I can't record, and both April and I are super interested in what comes in the box, so I went ahead and opened it. I know what's in here, but y'all don't. So that's what we're doing here today. I'm gonna share with you what I got this month, and then I have a question for you guys at the end. So let's just crack it open, and we'll dive right in. Now, this might be the first VGM video of mine that you've seen. I get Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo, and Nintendo 64 games sent to me every month. This month I got 3 Genesis games, a Super Nintendo game, and an N64 game. And we're gonna start with the Super Nintendo game, as that's the one that is the problematic one this month. I mentioned at the start that you need to tell them which games you already have, and that includes which games you get between months and the games you get from them. They don't update the list at all. It's up to you to do it. I believe it was last month I got 2 Super Nintendo games, Mario Paint and Draken. And this month, the Super Nintendo game they sent me was Mario Paint, because I, like an idiot, did not go update my list after I got my box last month. So that's a big old whoops. That happens if you're not organized like I'm not. So, oh well, I know better and know to do better next time. But that's some potential trade fodder down the road, because I already have it in my collection. Next up, we got us an N64 game. We got Jeremy McGrath Supercross 2000. This is a game that I've actually looked at getting, because I've seen it at the Second and Charles nearby for quite a little while now. And every time I've looked at it, it just seemed overpriced. They didn't seem like they had a good value on it. So I never really bothered picking it up. So to have it is actually kind of interesting. And when I went to play it, this is surprisingly fun. It's a little hard to control, but once you kind of get a feel for it, it's a decent little motorbike racer. It reminds me a lot of Excitebike 64, except I think that this actually controls better than Excitebike 64. It's just this has some wildly varying frame rates. At least when I recorded it on an emulator. I need to plug this into my actual N64 to see how it behaves there. But it was a decent little game. I'm actually excited to have this, because April watched me when I was recording it, and she said this actually looked pretty fun. So who knows? We might have another game we can play together. So that'd be really cool. Now the next games I got were all Genesis games. I got Eternal Champions. It's unfortunate the condition of the cart, because the label's torn up a bit and the artwork just seems kind of faded and like it's got crap on it. But that's kind of the gambles you're taking whenever you use a service like this. You don't know the condition that they're going to come in, and sometimes if it's like covered in like a rental sticker or something, that's one thing, because that's its history. But if it's just like torn up and junk, it's a little sad whenever games come in like that, but what can you do? Now, for those who don't know, I am actually really terrible at fighting games if it's not Super Smash Brothers, and even then, I'm not good at Smash Brothers. Like traditional fighting games, like your Street Fighter, your Soul Calibur, your Eternal Champions, I'm really bad at them. I do have fun with them for a little bit, but I've never put in the time to really understand the mechanics of these fighting games and get good at them. So as you can see from watching this little bit of recording, yeah, I'm terrible at them. It's a good option to have in the collection. I don't know how often this will get played. It's good to have it. It's good to have the choices, or you might have company come over and like, hey, you want to play a game? It's like, cool, what do you want to play? Pick a game, you got a bunch. And that adds to the options for us all. The next thing I got was Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Oddly enough, also a fighting game that I'm bad at, but this one is a lot easier of a fighting game, I feel. Eternal Champions was built, you could tell, was built around the 6-button Sega controller. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers was built around the 3-button Sega Genesis controller, so there's not a lot of variance to the moves that you can do. Because it's Power Rangers, you can tell it's definitely geared towards younger children, but that's fine because it does what it does. It's a decent little fighter game. Not something you're gonna spend a lot of time on, but something you might be willing to throw some time at every once in a while, especially if you're into like really completing games. That doesn't seem like it'd be a hard game to complete if you can get a handle on the controls. And the last game I got, which might be my favorite of the box, was Disney's The Lion King. Now, I have heard about The Lion King. I've always heard that this game is kind of like bullcrap hard, and I only played 2 levels of it just to get some footage, but I can see that. It definitely seems like it could be very challenging. As someone who does like challenging games, especially challenging platformers, I actually am looking forward to sit down with this. Probably once I move again in the relatively near future and I can get all my systems set up and out of storage, I really want to give this guy a proper go, because I think this could be a lot of fun, and this could be fun, and this could be one of those games that would feel really good to have the completed checkbox next to. Anyways, that's the haul from Video Games Monthly this month. The problem is none of these games were particularly valuable, and it didn't stand up to the cost at all. Now, I get the 5-game box, as you can see, and that is $45 before shipping, and then $10 shipping on top of it. The most expensive game in this set is Mario Paint at $12. The rest of them are under 7, under 8, and this whole lot, I think, came out to about, I believe, right around $34. And that is not a good ratio of value to purchase. Now, like, I understand that there's some curator stuff and you can't count the shipping because they do send priority mail, and that does cost $10 to ship, so it's not like I can't count that towards the box value. I feel like it should be closer to value than that, especially with the condition of some of these carts. And some of these are only like $8 games and by price charting stuff, but that's in like decent condition. In this condition, they're barely worth $5, you know? So this brings the question to you all. I personally feel like I could get better value just giving April a handful of 20s and saying, here, go to the local game store and build up a mystery box. She has the price charting resource. She has the knowledge of a collector as to what's a worthwhile buy. That might be more fun in the future to have an April built mystery box, you know? I don't know, I'm tempted to give VGM one more go just to see if they can redeem themselves again. I don't know, so I wanted to bring it to y'all. What do you think I should do? Should I just abandon Video Games Monthly and let April do my mystery boxes from here on out, or should I give them one more go, give them one more chance to redeem themselves? Let me know down in the comments, I'd love to hear from you. But that's gonna be it from me. Thank you guys so much for being here, and I look forward to bringing you even more mystery box videos like this as the days go on. So again, thank you guys for being here, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one, y'all.